Hi, today I'm going to be making a simple Valentine's heart wreath with this preformed grapevine heart, some faux red roses, some ribbon and a couple of other bits to make it match my garland outside. I'll show you what they are as we go along. I could glue these in, but I'm going to wire them. You'll see where the glue gun comes in a little while. But let's get started. I need to decide where I'm putting these roses in my heart and how I'm going to fix them. As I said, I want to wire them really. Then if I want to take them back out and use the wreath or the roses somewhere else, I can do. These roses were from Shein. They're not pre-wired or anything. They were quite cheap. The rose heads themselves are so realistic, almost like dried roses, so I'll work around the lack of wiring. I'm going to cut them to make these fit how I want to. Let's decide how I'm going to put them in. I kind of want that. I want them kind of here, inside. So they look quite nice in like that. But you need odd numbers really. That doesn't really count, I don't think, because it's such a small bud. Wire them in. Now, the leaves, I'm hoping I can turn. And I've got it in place. Those in place. And we're going to have a third one there. Right, let's get those wired in. As I'm fastening this onto here, the wire, the surplus wire at the back, I'm going to use it to, as like a little loop, to bend up and push this head forward, to kind of push it forward. That's it. When they've got nice wire running through, it's quite nice because you can arch all these stems quite well. Then I'm going to wire these two in. But what I'm going to do is I'm not going to wrap it around. I'm going through the actual wreath base. I particularly like these grapevine wreath bases because you needn't cover the whole thing with flowers and whatever. You can just put the little bunches of flowers where you want them. I'm just going to go up through the wreath, the wire coming out here, kind of threading it through and around the inside. Tie it off tightly. I might need to just tie that back. I don't want it kind of covering the flower, but I think that looks okay. So I'm going to put a little ribbon in here. Right, I want a little bow in here as well. I'm quite happy with it like this, but I really need to make it match my garland outside, which I'm just going to put a little picture up there to show you what that looks like outside. So I need these incorporating, or at least one of them. We'll see. That looks like a nice little small bouquet on an angle, with the bow on an angle. And so I'm just trying to see how best now to incorporate these. Quite pleased with that. That little red heart though, I think it needs something. I think I'm going to use some bits of this to just make a little bow on that heart. All will be revealed. Okay, you see we've got the two little hearts in place now. They're glued in. Glued that in place. And this one in place. And you see I've added that bit of detail with the sacking string, if you like to call it that, into a little bow. I think that just adds a nice bit of detail. These little hearts, if you want to know how to make them, I'm just going to include a little bit of instruction now on how to do those. You'll need to make a little template first for yourself. Just draw a rough heart shape on the fold of paper. Your two sides are even if you cut it on the fold like that. Use your templates to cut your fabric. But have a look at the next bit of video for that. And then I'll show you how I'm going to fix it to the door. I've made a little wire loop on the back. All I've done is wrap wire around here, black wire. You can't really notice it from the front. Wrapped it around, wrapped it around itself, made a little loop, and then I'm going to put some ribbon through that loop and up onto the hook on my door with a little bow. Okay, I've threaded some ribbon now through the loop on the back. I put a loop there, and I found that it was just, the ribbon was just laying out a bit, so the heart was lying forward slightly. So I've put another supporting piece of wire across there. I did try doing it with this red ribbon and it looked lovely. I really liked it, but it didn't incorporate much of this hessian. This was the only bit of hessian that was in it. And when you compare it with my decor outside, it needed more hessian. I now need to glue this like that and make a hole through there. So I'm using my hot glue gun. Then I'm going to put a hole there so that my hook can go through it, and then I'll disguise it with a bow. Okay, that's done. Basically, I've got a little command hook that I have stuck to my door, and that hook goes through there, and then I put a bow on top. And this is the bow I've made. It was just a piece of two pieces, the same length. Folded it over again, So that's the back. That was the back of the bow. Cut it off. Another piece the same in that. And then I'll put wire around the centre of the both pieces. Imagine that's the front bow. Wire in front of around both pieces, tied it off, and then a nice little piece of ribbon around. The wire, I finished it off with a little loop so that I could hook it onto that hook. And the other little detail, I've just bent that rose, managed to bend that rose so make it look a little bit more natural. Okay, just remains to put it on the door and show you how it looks. Just put this onto the door with the bow. Right, bow's in place, wreath's in place, and I'm pleased with the look. And I like how this chiffon ribbon, being that bit see-through, it's not harsh. You can still see the top of the heart through there. And I think it matches nicely. You can see you've got a nice blend of red and the Hessian colour. And that's all echoed down in the little trees as well. I've made some more of those little hearts with the kebab sticks in, some slightly bigger ones. And that's about it for this time. See you soon. Hope it's been useful.